What is going on, everyone, and welcome back. It is Wednesday, which means it is New Comic Book Day, and ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to take you along with me on this beautiful spring day, as today is the release of Absolute Batman issue number 20, as well as Absolute Martian Manhunter issue number 11 from DC. We cannot forget about Marvel with Shadows of Maul issue number 3, as well as Ultimate Endgame issue number 4, and last but not least from Image, we have Transformers issue number 32. So this is an amazing week for comics, and a monumental week from Batman fans, because we have the first appearance of Absolute Robin and Absolute Batman. So I'm so excited to take you along with me. We're going to build some Gundam, we're going to hang out with some friends, and let's see what we can find. It would not be New Comic Book Day without the outfit plus read of the day. First things first, you already know. So for today's outfit of the day, it is a beautiful spring day. I want to throw on a white tee with my pinstripe pleated trousers. For the shoes, I have on my Blundstone 558s. But most importantly, for the read of the day, I wanted to read issue number 2 of the brand new Wonder Man miniseries from Gerry Duggan and Mark Buckingham. Issue number 1 seems to set up what's going to be a LA detective story, so I'm really excited to see where this goes. And after watching the Wonder Man TV show and the announcement of a season 2, I've been wanting to read and collect more Wonder Man comics, and so I'm going to get back to you afterwards with my thoughts. I just finished reading issue number 2 of the Wonder Man miniseries, and I am really enjoying where this is going. As I mentioned before, this is a LA detective story, and I think Gerry Duggan is absolutely killing it with the narration, dialogue, and storytelling throughout. I also really enjoy the flashback art style of Mark Buckingham and the art of Stefano Raffaele. I think that both of them pair together great with Gerry Duggan on this series, and I also think this is just a really fun series to come out right after the Wonder Man TV show earlier this year. And now that we have the announcement of a season 2, I think this is a great starting point for new and ongoing Wonder Man comics for those that are wanting to start read and collect Wonder Man, especially with the announcement of season 2 and the announcement of a new Wonder Man being introduced later this month, with Von Lerner being introduced in Ultimate Impact Reborn issue number 1. So I'm really excited for that. I would love to hear in the comments down below if you have been reading this and what you think. With Absolute Green Arrow right around the corner, I thought it would be no better time than to talk about Green Arrow Year 1 by Andy Diggle and Jock. This is a modern retelling of Green Arrow's origin story, as Oliver Queen is a frivolous playboy who seems to care little to nothing about anyone, including himself, and that all is about to change as everything that he knows and loves has been taken away from him. The people that he trusts the most have betrayed him, and now he has hit absolute rock bottom with absolutely nothing, stranded on an island alone. He has to fight for survival and learn to adapt with nothing but a makeshift bow and arrow. As Oliver Queen is learning to adapt, he comes across the very drug lords who caused his abandonment, and it seems now that Oliver Queen cares about one thing and one thing only, and that is justice. And this is just an amazing origin story. I cannot rave enough about this. I highly recommend this to you if you're looking for new stories to pick up for Green Arrow before Absolute Green Arrow. And if you have read this origin story and have read more Green Arrow stories, I would love to hear in the comments down below any recommendations that you have. Over the weekend, I acquired my first ever Gunpla, and this is a high-grade RX Unicorn Gundam, and I've always been interested in Gundam and Gunpla as a hobby. It's something that's always been interesting to me as someone that's always enjoyed action figures and collecting and posing action figures. I always thought it was really cool and unique to build your own action figures, and I decided that I wanted to pick up a Gunpla to see if this was something that I was interested in. And over this week I've been building this, and I have been loving this project. So today I wanted to document and share with you some of my progress. The last place I left off was with the legs, so I have one foot complete, and now I have to match that and do both feet and legs, as well as the torso and the weapons and shield, and then the Gundam will be fully complete. I did not manage to complete the Gunpla today, but this means that this is a job for another day and this project continues to go forward. I've actually really enjoyed making this. This has been a really fun project, and I think this is honestly going to be a new hobby of mine. So as you can see, I now have both the legs complete as well as the complete body. So I just have to do the torso now and the weapons, and then my unicorn Gunpla will be fully complete. I'm actually really enjoying the process of this. It's very meticulous, and as I mentioned before, something that takes my full undivided attention, which I really appreciate. But I decided that now was a good stopping point now that I have both the legs complete. As of recently, I've been getting back into art and drawing, and I found that as I've been reading more comics and getting more into some of my favorite characters and superheroes, I've also been wanting to draw and sketch some of them more. So I wanted to share with you some of my sketchbook and just give you a little tour. So I have one of my favorites, Spider-Man, the iconic, with his Spidey senses going off. We also have Brian Michael Bendis, Uncanny X-Men, right here Cyclops, and then the next one I have to share with you is Colossus, of course, one of my favorite X-Men. And my most recent drawing I've done is the Man Without Fear, also known as Daredevil. Here we have the Man Without Fear, and I just love this drawing so much. This is honestly my most proud one that I've done so far. And doing this, I also had inspiration to do another pose of Daredevil. So I have this outline sketch, and in my next video I plan on doing like a day in the life video and just incorporating some of my hobbies. So finish building my Gunpla as well as finishing this piece right here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. We're going ahead and meet Daniel and Carson on this beautiful Wednesday for another beautiful new comic book day. I'm on the way to the LCS to meet Daniel and Carson on this beautiful spring day, and I cannot get over this weather. It's literally 81 degrees on a Wednesday in May here in Nashville, which is just perfect. And we got the release of Absolute Batman today, as well as Absolute Martian Manhunter. We cannot forget about Shadows of Maul, issue number 3, and Ultimate Endgame, issue number 4, the second to last issue of Ultimate Endgame, before we get Ultimate Impact Reborn. And then last but not least, we have Transformers issue number 32 from Image. So an amazing week for comics. And as I mentioned before, an amazing week for Batman fans, because we have Absolute Robin, the first appearance in Absolute Batman. And not only one Absolute Robin, we are getting 5 Absolute Robins. So this is just going to be an amazing issue from Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta. I cannot wait to read and get my hands on this issue. On top of that, though, we got to build some Gunpla today, and I got pretty far along in my RX-0 Unicorn Gunpla. I'm honestly very satisfied. And then on top of that, earlier today I got to sketch a little bit and share some of that with you. And so I think, as I mentioned before, I'm going to do a video here in the next few days doing a day in the life and doing just a Gunpla build as well as drawing and reading some comics, maybe recommending some comics. I do have a video planned in the next week or so on top of that. That is going to be my top 5 ongoing comics of 2026 for a midway through the year recommendation video. And then at the end of the year, I'll do another video that's going to be my top 5 ongoings of 2026 heading into 2027. So I'm very excited to see what stays from my list at this point versus what's on my list in December come winter. So yeah, but an amazing week for comics, a beautiful spring day. We're about to meet Daniel. We have arrived. We are here with Daniel on this beautiful spring day. And let's see what we can find.
More along the lines of $20. Right. Even in the conditioner.
Fairy dwellings, they're like little fairy mushrooms.
we have Absolute Batman issue number 20, the first appearance of Absolute Robin, and here we have 5 Absolute Robins. We are here on a beautiful spring day. Daniel, what do you got? Is that a Jeff Loeb one shot?
Jeff Loeb. Didn't even know this was coming out. We might have to get it.
Might have to pull it. I just spotted one of the Magic the Gathering variant covers for Null issue 5, and these are just so sick. I'm on the hunt today for Williamson's Green Arrow run, and I think I'm going to pull issues 3 and 4. We just got done at Dragonfly, and we're going to go through our pull of the week before we go and get some grub. So Daniel, share your pull of the week this week.
It may not be everybody's, but, you know, he's my main man. So, Emperor Aquaman, he's basically the baddest MFer in the Justice League currently. I don't care what anybody says. Got my boy. But that's my pull of the week. So, on to Zach.
I would say this is a big week for Batman fans. Being a Batman fan myself, especially a Batman and Robin fan, we got to go with Absolute Batman issue number 20. 5 Absolute Robins. We got Tim Drake, we got Jason Todd, we got Dick Grayson, and many more. I'm very excited to read this issue. But now, we're going to go get some grub. I just made it back home, and as you can see here, I have a pretty good stack to go through for today's new comic book day, and I am super excited to go through everything I managed to pick up this week because this was an amazing week for new releases, and on top of being an amazing week for new releases, I managed to find 2 back issues today that I'm super excited to share with you, so let's get right into today's pull list. My most anticipated pull of the week, here we have Absolute Batman issue number 20, featuring all 5 Absolute Robins on the A cover, and this is the first appearance of all 5 Absolute Robins. I cannot wait to see where this story goes. I've been loving this amazing story from Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta, a fresh take on Batman. I cannot recommend this story enough. If you have not picked this up, do yourself a favor and go ahead and pick this up. Coming into issue number 2 of the week, here we have having not only Absolute Batman, but also Absolute Martian Manhunter come out in this same week feels like such a treat for comic and DC fans alike, and I cannot wait to see where this second to last issue takes us. Coming into issue number 3 of the week, here we have kicking it over to Marvel, we have Shadows of Maul issue number 3. This actually serves as a prequel to the Maul TV show that just released from Netflix, and if you've been enjoying the TV show and following along, I highly recommend picking this up as a bit of a backstory for some of your favorite characters. Coming into issue number 4 of the week, here we have the second to last part of Ultimate Endgame. Here we have Ultimate Endgame issue number 4 from Dennis Camp. With Ultimate Impact Reborn coming out later this month, I cannot wait to see where this story goes from Dennis Camp. Coming into our last but not least issue of the week, here we cannot forget about Transformers issue number 32 from Robert Kirkman and Jason Howard. I have been loving the art from Jason Howard, and Robert Kirkman has been killing it ever since he took over from Daniel Warren Johnson. I highly recommend picking this up if you finish all of Daniel Warren Johnson's run and want to continue reading Transformers. This is everything that I managed to pick up this week, but I'm going to go right into my back issues that I managed to pick up this week. After reading Green Arrow Year 1, and with Absolute Green Arrow coming out later this month, I've been wanting to read and collect more Green Arrow, and I've heard nothing but good things about Joshua Williamson's run. Here I have not only Green Arrow issue number 3, but also Green Arrow issue number 4 from Joshua Williamson's run from 2023. This is a modern interpretation of the character, and I've heard nothing but great things about this. And after reading Green Arrow Year number 1 by Andy Diggle and Jock, I've been wanting to collect and read more of Oliver Queen's stories, and so I'm so excited to start this run. This is everything I managed to pick up this week. Thank you all so much for watching. I cannot thank you enough for the love and support. We just hit 900 subscribers on YouTube as well as 900 on TikTok, which is absolutely insane. You guys are the freaking best. I cannot thank you enough for the love and support. You mean the world to me. We will be back next week for New Comic Book Day. I hope you all have an amazing week. Spend some time with some loved ones. Spend some time with yourself. Peace.